know that women in objectifying clothing score lower on cognitive assessment than women in non-objectifying clothing?
Objectifying clothing? Like what?
Clothes that turn women into objects.
Like into bananas?
Not exactly. In our society, it's more about turning women into sexual objects.
Wait a second. Men are sexually objectified too.
You're right, but this is less of a problem for men. In one of the few studies I found on the objectification of men, the exposure to muscularity, idealizing images, had no effect on men's reported body image satisfaction.
No effect? Women, on the other hand, showed increased body shame in that one. Restrained eating and lower performance on math tests when they were wearing a swimsuit as opposed to a sweater. Well, but the same study was done with males, and there was no effect on men's body image satisfaction.
Yeah. And, oh look, there was a study done with female undergrads where they put mirrors, magazines, and bathroom scales in the room, and based on that alone, women had increased body shame and self-objectification.
So just by wearing a tank top that shows some cleavage or having a scale that reminds me I'm not the thin ideal of society will take up my brain space and make it so I can't do 2 + 2?
Apparently. I mean, the objectification is everywhere too, and it has been for a while. Think about it. The majority of our TV shows and movies portray the sexualization of women's bodies or use demeaning language to describe them.
That's a form of sexual harassment.
It is. And this one study by that guy and King found that 84% of episodes on TV shows contained at least one incident of sexual harassment. And 78% of that harassment was related to demeaning terms or sexualization of women's bodies.
And it's not just the women who are being sexualized and objectified who are being affected by this. I mean, in this study, the objectification decreases empathy towards the people being objectified. The invisible line.
And it happens when we expose people to media like this.
Right. And the more we objectify a person through media messages in our magazines or TV shows or advertising,
porn industry, even our commercials for food.
Check out the latest Carl's Jr. ad.
The less people empathize with that person.
And the mere exposure effect says that if we see stuff like that more often, we're less likely to react to it. We're just normalizing the sexualization of women.
Yeah. The more commercials we see or video games we play where women are portrayed as sexual objects, the more normal we think it is.
Ugh.